Welcome back to the part 2 of this incredibly heartbreaking story about Bamise Ayanwola. Thank you for joining us. We've been talking about Bamise Ayanwola, the young lady, beautiful, hardworking young lady who was murdered by Andrew Nice on the 26th of February 2022. I'm here joined by her sister, Damilola, who is just telling us so much more about this brilliant life that was cut short. But Bamise's life wasn't just cut short. She lived through the legacy that she's kept, which is how to even keep safe wherever you are. And also I have with me Ololade Ajayi, who is an author and a fighter against all the things bad happening to women and young girls. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Sue.
So let's continue with Bamise's life. She's the last of 10 children. When we feel grief, we feel it differently as parents and as siblings. You know, I'm sure she has her friends and other whatever. You know, I've asked you about your parents, how they are coping. You said after the judgment, your mother took ill. And then I was wondering, was there no grief counselor, therapist appointed by the state, being that this occurred in a government facility? And you said nothing like that happened. Then how's the family keeping it together? How are your siblings all coping?
Well, it has not been easy.
It can never be easy.
It has not been easy. Because, for instance, before the incident, I know how I have been trying my best to take care of my parents and my children.
Yeah.
On the process of justice, I lost my customers.
Yes.
I lost
your livelihood. Yes.
And I can hardly feed myself. So how am I going to feed my parents?
Yeah.
So my other siblings too, is hard for them to.
And things are getting harder.
Yes.
And harder. Yes.
And my mom especially, that has never fallen sick.
76-year-old woman.
Yes, she has never fallen sick ever since I was born. And I used to say it, not until the day that we had a family meeting, a physical one, you know, and my senior sister, the first child, was like, Mommy, Tioki man sick. That is my mom that has never fallen sick before. You know, it now come to the stage that we need to be taken out to the hospital almost often.
It's traumatic. You know? It's traumatic.
And the beautiful thing there is that I kept my children with my mom, with my parents.
Okay.
So whenever she's crying and those children are around, they'll just, Grandma, she will just feel it, and sometimes she'll go and hide inside the toilet just because she wants to express herself, you know. So it has not been easy coping, taking care of them, their hospital bill, and you know, thank God for the social media and the beautiful people in Nigeria. Yes,
have reached out,
home and abroad, because they support us with their own quota, and it has really helped the family. Okay. You know, there are these people on TikTok that they came.
Can you give them a shout out?
Yes, thank you very much for that opportunity. I'm talking about Supreme Iron Lady. She's a TikToker, and Grace Ogale. This Grace Ogale,
she made this t-shirt.
She made this t-shirt. You can see the foundation name. You know, she made this t-shirt and said that I want to do this because we had a t-shirt already that we're using. So she was like, you people, you should not depend on just one t-shirt. She made this t-shirt for the family, and she supported And on our platform, people supported us. You know, some they support us with words of courage.
Yes.
While some support us financially. You know, and we have this my brother Latisne. You know, he also supported.
Yeah.
In fact, they were like, come, will you take this case to Abuja?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to the people that we're going to thank at the end of the program. But let me touch on the fact that in court, the judge whom you have a lot of admiration for, Justice
Sherifat Shonaike.
Yes, I understand that the rape kit for Bamise was eventually not submitted even in the course of the judgment.
Yes.
It is still these voice notes that was able to determine his guilt.
Yes.
Did they explain to you why the rape kit or anything wasn't used?
Well, according to the judge, I'm going to say a very big thank you to that woman. Yes, she really knows her duty. In fact, I can call her my mother.
Yes.
Yes, because she's a mother. Justice Sherifat Shonaike is truly a mother. She said it when she was reading, going through the file. You know, they have to read one or two things that they've jotted down. You know, she said it there that though the persecutor did not, I want to remember how she put it, that they did not provide the semen, but she's judging according to the voice notes that the deceased, you know, it shows that it was Bamise that did everything.
Yes.
Everything that we are looking for is Bamise that did it. So the woman that Justice Sherifat Shonaike, before the judgment day, the defense counsel do act funny.
What does Bamise mean?
Bamise means it is God. It is God that has been helping me.
Okay.
It is God that did it.
That did it. So it's almost as if her name.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. The Yoruba used to say that Oruko ni Omo. That is, it is the name that you give your child that you know.
Yes.
So the defense counsel do act funny. Act annoying. It is always annoying
work.
And the judge will always pour out her displeasure on the act of the defense counsel.
You said you were being attacked. Was it physically?
I was attacked twice by the defense counsel, Abayomi Omotubura. I was attacked twice. And my elder sister was attacked by this very Abayomi Omotubura.
Do you have any evidence towards that?
The last attack, we have a video clip.
Okay. So until we put that out, we'll say allegedly.
Because that day my sister was not happy, and what happened is that when we went to the court, you know, we didn't wake up around 4:30. We'll be on the road around 5 to 5. So we are the victim's family, and we can wake up very early just because we want to go and wash brief. We are not the persecutors. We are to wash brief. We and our lawyers are to wash brief. So if we can wake up very early to go and to get to the court, how much more the defense counsel?
Okay.
Now, that day that he attacked my family, the last time.
Was it physically or verbally?
Physically. All the attack is physically. Now,
in the open place,
yes,
in the courts?
Yes.
Inside as well.
You know, because we were told that like 3 months of break, 3-4 months of break, and it was this defense counsel that causes it, saying that he's going to travel, this and blah blah blah. And coming back, Omnicoron was not presented. Yes, Andrew Nice Omnicoron was not presented at the court, saying because when he wanted to bathe on Sunday, he fell and his leg is now paining him. He has bruise in his leg. That is why he was not produced at the court, that they've taken him to the hospital on Monday morning, which the court is supposed to sit.
Amazing.
So this my sister now happens to be a mother of plenty, because she's still looking for God intervention in her marriage, and I pray she will definitely get the answer.
Amen.
So she was like, kilo today, what happened again? Adjournment. Why didn't they bring this guy? She was mad that day. And that place was very tiny because there are cars parked. So the next thing, Omotugbora was coming, and I can say that he deliberately hits my sister.
Is it the one you say have video evidence of?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the video evidence of it.
Okay. We will not dwell on, judgment has been passed on all of that, and it's through Bamise's voice note that, judgment was still served. That is why I say that it seems that her name worked and all of that. But let me come to you, Ololade. Femicide. What's going on? We heard of this lady in Delta State, Shimite, and all of that. And you're telling me this happened in April, around Easter. I say she's just number 50. Since then, there have been up to 58.
Yes.
What's going on?
That's a very good question, because we are also asking what is going on. The prevalence of femicide in Nigeria is very alarming. And at this point, we're basically asking the federal government, the president, the National Assembly, anybody to come to our aid. Declare an emergency on femicide in Nigeria. These cases are, we have, at this rate, we have a case every 2 days. One case of femicide every 2 days. It's like, when we did our analysis, I think I spoke about it then, from January.
We have a dashboard where you
we have a dashboard where we update femicide cases. Between January 2024 and January 2025, we have a 240% increase in cases of femicide.
240%.
Yes. And if nothing is done about this very soon, it's going to get worse, because the trends and patterns that we have been analyzing, it shows that the impunity with which these perpetrators are executing these cases.
What do you think is the cause? Or has this always been with us? It's just that now we're able to document it. What's happening?
Well, for us, we'd rather focus on prevention, because we've spoken about this. What is the cause of femicide? At the root of it is misogyny. The fact that men feel that they are either superior to these women, men who feel that they can do this and get away with it because there is no concrete results from their actions, and that's why we welcome such judgments that as we've been witnessing in the past 1 month. With Bamise's case, with Peter Nwachukwu, that's Osinachi's husband, death sentence as well. So we know that these sentences would
happen when? Was it before Bamise?
It was in 2022 as well.
Same year.
The 3rd year as well. So with these cases, when judgment is made, and this judgment puts out a warning that we care about these women. We do not want their deaths to, be in vain. We want it to count for something. We want perpetrators to be punished accordingly. It sends out a clear statement to potential perpetrators that, the Nigerian government do not tolerate femicide, and that's why we wanted to this is the pattern we want to continue. There should be zero tolerance for femicide. But at the same time, the reason why these cases continue to be prevalent is because lack of adequate safe spaces for these women and girls. What has government put in place for these women and girls, and like we say, these are cases that are known. The cases that we put out, the 58 number that we said we put out, are just cases that we can verify. We know that these cases are a lot more happening, especially in rural communities, happening especially in the north, where
there's a dashboard.
There are cases of they just rule it as banditry or kidnapping and terrorism and all that. But in actuality, the femicide, you'd see a case of banditry where the women are being raped, and being raped and killed because maybe decided to not renounce their faith or not go with them. So there's a lot more. And to be honest, we carried out a survey, and from the results, it shows that women and girls do not feel safe in Nigeria.
What?
They do not feel safe. Many women and girls, when they filled the survey from our research, many replied that they just wonder, could I be next? If she meets who is in our house, who is a government official, who is, supposedly a powerful woman in her own right, can be killed in questionable manner, in that kind of manner, be poisoned to death in our own home.
Is the autopsy out?
They did the autopsy, but they said that when they went to the hospital, that was what they said, that she was poisoned, and they arrested the husband because it was the one that was with her. And women and girls in rural places, women and girls in cities, women and girls all over, women in their house. Women in their houses, we've had more than 10 women and girls who have been killed in their own homes. And so it rings true that home is the most dangerous place.
You talk about prevention, in the Western world. I mean, once a woman is killed, 75% of the chance is a domestic partner or an intimate partner who did that. You talked about prevention. How can we prevent more cases of this? I was saying that abroad you have the Amber Alerts, you have all of this. I'm saying that we should sponsor something like a Bamise alert system, Bamise safe, something like the panic button you're talking about. BRTs at least, or public places should have CCTVs. They should have a button or apps where you can download if there's something. Once you press alert, all the whatever's, all the VIO, last mile, whatever it is that are just waiting to catch you for just stepping on a yellow line or something. They should actually be doing something about the safety of the people in the buses. We talk about one chance as if it's something that is beyond the government. There are things that can be done to stop all of this.
100%.
By now there should be undercover cops or whatever in different buses, so that once they know that police is present, they will reduce how they do some of these things. We don't know. We're just here who give our votes to people to take care of us. And then we're hoping that, something like that should be done. For a Bamise, there should be that you call the panic button or apps and stuff like that you can.
For us, we have a femicide research hub at GHSKS Foundation that's we're doing research on ways to prevent femicide. We have the legal team that are working, advocating for the bill legislation on femicide. We have a tech team also that is working to mitigate femicide through tech. We're building an app that will.
And then even the local chiefs and the ballers and all of that, they should always keep talking.
Most definitely, and that's why awareness is important. That it continues to, we continue to make people aware about the prevalence of this crime and what can be done, how we can help people in these communities. Also, safe spaces. We need more safe spaces. We need government to even, fund research, fund tech. Yes. We need all hands to be on deck to ensure that femicide is mitigated and to barest minimum.
Okay, you're an author. I mean, we've reviewed your book on the show, so I'm hoping that maybe you'll help us document Bamise's
definitely
story. So we'll be waiting for that. But in closing, I'm going to give you the chance, Damilola, because there are people you said your heart feels heavy. You need to send them a special greeting. And even to your parents who are even bearing this the most.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm going to say a very big thank you to the governor. Yes, he has really tried because from the beginning, if he hadn't given his best, what he knows as his best on this case, maybe the case would have been swept under carpets by now. But for him to still stand and say, okay, I want to know what is going on. So I say a very big thank you to him. Kudos to him for that. Yes. And I'm going to say a very big thank you to the first lady for her support and, her motherly love that she showed then. So I'm going to say a very big thank you to my people on the social media, especially on the Black app, which is TikTok, because there are a lot of them doing tremendously well. Yes, like Papa Rhino, Supreme Iron Lady, Grace Foundation. They fight for justice. All those people, and Latisness platform. They did well. Unlike that Papa Rhino's platform, they supported me with words of encouragement, and they supported me with money.
And forget the Justice Lady. There are too many people. I'm not sure.
Yes. There are a lot of them. I can't even recall everyone. So I say a very big thank you to them. But this is judgment that has been passed, but the justice is yet to be passed. So
find the death warrant.
I pray that at last they are going to sign, the Lagos State government is going to sign the death warrant of Andrew, and by the time they are going to do that, they will put it to public, or the family members will witness it, that truly is the one
that did it.
Yes, the person that committed the crime, that is the one that was being convicted or killed.
Yes.
So that, a lot of questions that people are asking, that, are you sure? Even if they sign it, are you sure? So we want to make them know that our governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is a man of his word, and he keeps to his word, because he said that he will never leave any stone unturned during one of his interviews. So
yes, and I hope they will also encourage BRT to do the right thing, because they know the right thing. Your family needs grief counseling. Your family needs psychological support, especially your parents, and medicals, because they are aged, and to live with this grief of losing a child.
I don't know if time permits us. I want to quickly say this. You see, what is it called? The therapies that you mentioned. I didn't we have it. There was something that happened to me last year. I almost lost my memory.
Okay.
Because the trauma, I was full of trauma. That I was sick, I couldn't sleep. And I went to the hospital. They treated me of malaria and typhoid. And the sickness persists.
That's the standard.
I went to another hospital. They now asked me to go and check my brain, to go and do brain tests. That there's something in this brain that is...
It's good. Anyway, And then the biggest thank you will go to your sister Bamise, because
Yes.
it is because of her that we are here. So wherever she is, and we know that she's an
thank
angel.
you is to God Almighty, who has used her.
Okay.
Yes, that is why we are able to fight the fight today.
Thank God. So, Ololade, you were signing the death warrant.
I want to say that when you see I don't want when I'm going to sign, I want to say
my dear sister, yeah, she has really tried. She supported. Yeah, she's a dear sister, and I'm saying thank you to you. Yes, because at least for remembering the family, it is not something that is easy. So I say thank you.
So we thank each other. We thank God. We thank Bamise, and yes. So this conversation is one that I really wish that we're not having. I wish it was a celebration that we're having. But I mean, the 22 years God gave Bamise is something that we are still celebrating, because she did good with it. It's not the amount of years, it's the amount of the good things that you did with the number of time that you've had here. So, but I send my love to the other victims of this convicted monster. I don't know how the government will do it, but they will need to do more to keep the citizens safe. Remember that the dead cannot vote, so politicians do better. Let's learn from Bamise's enduring legacy. If you feel uncomfortable in any public setting, please raise an alarm and let someone know. Thank you for watching. For more, please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Plus TV Africa. You can still watch us on DSTV channel 408 and on YouTube. Make your life a safe story. My name is Chinedu. Bye-bye.